All right, first video of the year, first woodworking project of the year. It's going to be this little wagon here, and I hope you guys enjoy making it. I try my best to make to draw this stuff up, give you the measurements as clean as possible. You know, if I'm not doing you know, 10 1/4, 10 3/8 or something like that. So I try to give you the straight measurements and then do it that way. It don't always work that way, but we sure try. We have another one, and this one here, I want to finish it up. I'll have 3 of them once I'm done. This needs sanded up real good before I put the wheels and stuff on it. And it's all made out of your fence board, so that makes it easy. And it is cedar, so if you wanted to put it out in the garden, maybe with your flowers or something, it'd be fine. And then just drill holes, you know, drill some holes inside so the water can go down through, and then put a nice thing of flowers in this, or a couple nice small plants in it. You know what I'm saying? Something to look nice. Or maybe your kid would want it. You know, I thought about it too. You know, you can pull it around. Now I did a little different on these wheels here. Now the other wheels I did. The other wheels I'm going to end up drilling the holes a little bit smaller. The wheels are a little wobbly here. But you know, every time I do these, every time I make one, the second one always improves, because I look back at the one I first started. And that's probably what you'll do too, is if you like making them, you'll do your first one, then your second one. You get better at it, and then you get better at it. You know what I'm saying? Because you kind of change things around a little bit. You use your imagination, and you know, maybe like I did. I used a different bit to tighten the wheels up for the next project, and that's what we're going to do. But we're going to go ahead and start on the cedar. It's cedar fence boards, and we're going to start this bottom piece here, so I got to cut it. We're going to go over to the miter saw and take that piece over there and cut it, and go ahead and get started. All right, let's go. We're going to need 1, 2. So these are going to be 16 inches long. So we're going to need 2 of these 16 inches long. Okay, so you're going to need 2 boards like this. Staple on the top of this. Okay, now we got 2 of them, 16. Just cut them down, and then we're gonna need 2 of them 9 inches long. Now we need 2 more. 1, 2, 3 more 16 inches long. Okay, here we go. Now let's head over to the table saw and cut these. Okay, what we got is we got 3 here. These are 16 inches long. We got the 2 9s, like I said, 2 9s, and then 2 more of your 16s. All right, so what we want to do is we want to make sure we cut these 3 inches. So we need a 3-inch cut right here. So we're going to cut this board, this one, and this one all into 3 inches. Okay. Okay, we want to keep all those pieces because everything goes together over here. I can get them together here, just like that. Okay, so let me move these off of here. All right, now we want to cut this one. We're going to cut the first one. This first one is going to be 3.5. We need your saw to 3.5 inches. Wait for this thing to stop. Okay, our next board, we got 2 more. The last two boards will be cut down to 3 1/4. So we need to get that blade right on 3 1/4, or you want to call it 1/4, and we'll cut the last 2, 3 1/4. This one, and this one. So we need these 3 boards. The smaller ones, just keep them. We'll use them here in a minute. Okay, let's go over to the table and see if we can put some of this together. Okay, I got mine sanded up. I said I was going to put them on the sander. I didn't want you guys to spend too much time over there me running that sander, so I went ahead and did it to get it done quick. Okay. So let's go ahead and get these boards all sorted out again. I got them all messed up. So that's my 3 1/4. That's my bottom, and this is my top side, bottom side. So let's go ahead and get started. I have. I'm going to use right now, once I use staples, I like using the staples. I'm going to use an inch and a half. I think that's what's in it. And about 1 1/4 or 1 1/2 staple. And then I have a 1-inch staple I have to use on them sod boards. So we're going to go ahead and just do it. I'm going to use a little bit of glue. I have some in here. I should have filled it up, but it'll work. But that was the best way. I like using staples. So let's see what we got here. So we have a 16-inch, and then here's the other wide ones. Here are the other ones, and a 9-inch. So we have a 16-inch and a 9-inch we're going to put together here. See if I can get this thing started. Let's go do it this way. But I like sanding them boards up a little bit. Makes, like I said, it makes that paint stick better on them. I mean, you know, you paint something that's real rough, it's harder to paint it. Oh, didn't turn my air on. Well, that didn't go down in there that far. Hammer. Okay, let's turn it this way. Okay, that's that part. Now, I do like using the square just a little bit. So just to kind of make sure the box is somewhat square. It's going to be that way when you start putting your boards on, but it always helps a little bit. Off a little bit right there. Okay, we want to use, need the 3 and a 4th. It's going to be on the end here. I don't like them turn that one inside here. Glue everywhere. Now there's the 3. I think it's 3.5 inch. Yep, for sure. Sure this fits the other end. Okay, so this will be the bottom. We got that much done. Okay, now we need to do that top part. This piece right here. We got to work on this piece right here. Do the same thing. And a knot right there. You see how easy it goes together? This will go up here on that. Just like that right there. Okay, so what we need next is we're going to do a couple of these small boards. And that was the other pieces I told you don't throw away. Let's see. Okay, we have these cut, and they are, I cut them down to an inch and a quarter. So they're cut 1.25 inches, and they're like 6 1/4. 6 1/4 by 1 1/4. I don't know how I come up with that number, but I did. But they're going to be the little boards on the side. Now, I just went ahead and measured. If you guys like to do that, is just measure back. I think each one was measured back like 2 1/4. Let's see what this one here says. Be 3.5 inches. That's probably how I got it. So I'm going to do my pencil. I measure up here back. 3.5 inches, put a mark here. And you got to do this on all 4 sides. Okay, and then of course I had to use a smaller staple than before because if you don't, they're going to go through. So I'm using a 1-inch staple to put these two boards together, like this. And by measuring back 3 1/2 inch, just we're going to have to put some lines here to get them go straight. And just kind of line them at the top here. You can line them anywhere up there, just right at the top. Let's put a little glue underneath here. Okay. Just do the best you can. Oh, turn that off again. I'm so used to turning that air valve off so the pressure don't kick on. And then you can bring it anywhere right there you like. I'm going to bring mine up just a little bit to the edge of that board there. I think that's going to be nice. Okay, there you go. So let's go ahead and set this back off to the side here, and we'll go ahead and start making the wheels for it. Okay. First thing you need to do is just go ahead and cut a 5 1/2 inch long 2 pieces. I cut 2. You can cut them 1 if you're going to do that. I'm going to cut 2 at the same time, but you don't have to. You can cut one of each, you know. So they're actually just 5 1/2 inches by 5 1/2 inches. And then I'm going to need to get a center of that. So let me turn this up here. I'll get 5 1/2 inches is 2 1/4 by 2 3/4 by 2 3/4 is what it comes out to. And I need to put a hole here. Now for me to keep this from moving, I'm going to go ahead and put a screw in this because I need to drill that hole all the way through. Okay, let's put it here on this. I don't want it where the blade's going to be, so just like that. Now, drill me a hole. Okay, I gotta be a couple wheels. Take that screw back out and keep it for later to build the other ones. And then I just take these and sand them up a little bit, and then just press them together, and then glue them. That's all you have to do. And then I'll put some staples in behind mine. So let's go back over to the table and work with these other ones we have. I got 4 of them here. So we've already finished up, and you can see what they look like. And like I said, I just stapled them, glued them, and then run them through the sander and sanded them up. You can use a regular hand saw, jigsaw. You can cut them out on a bigger piece. You know, just use the whole board when you're going to do that. Don't cut just a little 5.5 by 5.5. Just use the whole board. Put a circle the size you want in it, and then just go ahead and cut it out with a regular circular saw. We used a 5/8. Let's see. Wait a minute. Let's see. I used a 5/8 drill. I drilled in this, and I'm also using the 5/8 dowel rods. Now these dowel rods are 14 and 5/8 long, and then of course I have a 5/16 hole with another dowel rod, and that's going to be the little pin for the end of the keep the wheels on it. You know what I'm saying? So we can hold the wheels up. So let's go ahead and set those wheels up on this, I guess. And then all I did is something pretty. Let me see if I got another. There we go. Just place them right over top of these boards here, both of these, and then that's how I did it. So, and then screwed them down. Put a couple screws in them, and it seems. I mean, if you like, you can do them a different way. If you don't have that much dowel rods, you can probably just pin the wheels on the side here. You can bring them up a little bit higher, but we did it this way. And then of course I have this one here, and I haven't drilled this one, so I need to go cut this one and then go ahead and drill it. Okay, we got it cut down. It's the same size as the other one, so that's good. We just got to cut our 5/16 hole. We're going to go ahead and use the drill press and do that with it. So let's go ahead. I have my 5/16 bit in here, and then of course the other bit, I mean for these here, there's a 5/8 Forster bit, and I just got a regular 5/16 bit for the this is not going to be for this. This is going to be for your, you know, your axles. Okay, so just come to the end there as much as you can. As close as you can to the end. Go ahead and just drill your hole through it. You can do this with just regular hand drills, fine. Do the same thing on this side. But what I did is I like to keep it, you know, when I drill here, try to keep it straight as much as you can. You know, so both sides will be kind of straight up. It ain't gonna make any difference if you did, but okay, that's what you got. 2 holes in there. We'll go ahead and put it on there. Okay, should go up here, but I'm going to use a 1-inch, just a 1-inch little screw. I think it'll do fine. Don't need to go back out in there too far with them. Okay, there you go for your wheels, and then now these are little 5/16 dowel rod. That's what I have for it. So just kind of put them here on the side. Okay, we got all the pins in for the wheels. Now we just need to put the the rope on the top. Now I cut a piece of boards here. I cut this, and it's just a kind of little piece of scrap just to bring it out and give it a little bit more of a look. And we're going to go ahead and replace that, put that on. So it's 3.5 inches by 1.75 inches. So that was a piece of scrap wood we used. Let me go ahead and staple it down and just pick out the middle. Well, the middle would be that 3.5 inch board we got there. And for sure it will be. Line it up. Okay. Now we got our 1/2 inch rope. Let me see if I can find that 1/2 inch bit. That's what we're going to use. Yep, that's it. Now the rope, I just, you know, you pick out whatever size you'd like. And you don't have to have them real long, just whatever you want. I'm gonna get a little bit bigger than that. Where's it at? Okay. Just a little piece of board. I mean, just scrap, whatever you got there. Mine's about 4.5 inches by 3/4 by 1/2 inch, a small piece. And we're gonna drill a 1/2 inch hole right in the center of that. And that just kind of gives it a couple handles. So, cut this rope. Put a little knot. They put a little knot on the end of that. Well, it's not too bad. Just whatever you want to put on the end of it, you can make something a little bit different, or you can just use the knot on the end of it if you like. I'll probably put a little staple right through the end here. I just don't have them with me. I'll probably just like a little staple, sand that up a little bit. Maybe I'll take it off and sand it. But there you go, real simple, easy to make. If you want to paint them, you can just, you know, any kind of color you want to paint them. It's really nice. But I think they're a lot of fun to make. So let me bring up this other one. Now, I did do a little bit. Everything I really did different on the other one was I cut the wheels, I rounded them off, and of course I'm going to take these back off. They're not glued on there, so I'm going to take them off later. If I get it up there. And of course I didn't put, this one here I have little pins in them to keep them away from the thing itself. On this one here, I don't really think you really need them. I think they're just fine like that, you know, because they're just for show. And then of course the little handle you have, both of them has that little handle. That's it for the project. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you make it yourself, and I hope you share and give somebody else one. So make a little extra and give a little bit more. 2026, maybe that's a new year for us to go ahead and share a little bit more and help each other out. It doesn't hurt to give something to somebody. No one's ever went broke that way. So that's it for today. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Have a great day. Thanks for watching.